Namaste, friends. It's January 15th. It's about, 10:30 in the morning, I think. Somewhere around there. I'm inside today. I'm a little tired and just having to regroup, and have been sitting here at my desk reviewing my finances and preparing for taxes. As, of course, as we all know, living in this stage of our lives, trying to deal with our finances, always with an eye towards the future, possible retirement, and in this time of increased inflation, reviewing all of this gives me a little bit of a start. 2 years ago, I was right on top of everything. And I've had kind of a whirlwind 2 years. And a lot of that has to do with making the decision to get married, and having made that decision and gone through some of the changes that we've experienced. My husband and I, over the last 2 years, has been very difficult. And one of the ways that I've been dealing with it, I think, has been, I want to say maybe retail therapy, treating myself. I don't think I am ever overly extravagant. However, just spending money that, in ways that maybe wasn't as responsible as it could have been. And so now I'm looking at everything and I'm feeling, I don't know, I guess I just feel subdued. I feel calm in a sense, trying to keep stress and worry at bay, knowing everything is just one step at a time. And I want to do a big rewind on how I want to continue working on this particular channel. I know I sound terrible. We had a big party yesterday, thankfully the last big party that we're going to have for a little while, I hope. I had a baby shower for one of my daughters, and it was huge, and it was fun, and it was expensive, and it's just taxing on me. It's tiring on me, although I don't want to act like I did all the work, because I didn't. I hosted it in my home, and of course I did quite a bit of work, but my future daughter-in-laws and my other daughter, both my daughters actually, were very helpful in doing this, so I can't take responsibility for doing the whole thing myself. But I'm just tired. I'm tired. I've had just a heck of a year. The insanity did start, I guess, a little over a year ago when, I guess about a year ago, about a year and a half ago, when we made the decision to get married. And then in November of 2021, I got married and moved into my husband's home, which we had made a deal that we would live there for 2 years and we'd get everything organized, and I could have 2 years to save some money, and we would buy a house. Well, February 24th of 2022, where we were living, our property was attacked and vandalized. We were living in Baltimore City, and not the best area. Beautiful house, but a horrible area. And it was a horrible experience. And for 2 weeks, it took us 2 weeks to get out of there. For 2 weeks, I was living in fear, afraid to literally walk out my front door. And we had no help from the police, even though the attack was on security cameras, like the Nest cameras and everything. And they said, there's nothing we can do for you. And so thankfully my husband and I, I'm so grateful that he did agree that we had to leave the city. He had hoped to stay there and do more work there. And so I moved into his house in Baltimore City in November of 2021. And by mid-March, we literally had to move. We made the decision to move, packed and moved within 2 weeks, and that was brutal. That was brutal. So we've been in this rental since mid-February of last year. Our lease is up the 31st, January 31st, and we're to move into our house that we purchased, which we love, and we've been renovating. We're still experiencing some troubles. We may have to push back the move date again because one of our tradesmen has unfortunately disappeared. All of our floors are being refinished, and this is day 3 of them missing in action. All the floors are kind of like halfway done. We can't move any furniture in there. I'm concerned because this is a man and his mother do this work, and I'm concerned that something happened. They may not be well, but they haven't contacted us. They haven't returned our calls. They've got all their equipment sitting in our house, and they've just disappeared for 3 days. This is day 3, and I'm very worried, and hopefully they're okay. But it looks like we may have to end up changing our moving date. We have movers scheduled for the 23rd, and we can't put any furniture in there. There's no floors. So I think all of this it starts wearing on you, but I want to be able to present some things as an older woman, as a postmenopausal woman, of the traumas, that sounds so dramatic, but of the things that we're dealing with. I'm rendered a little speechless today. Maybe not the best time to do this, but it's been about 10 days since I've done anything. So I wanted to put something up here. Moving forward, these are the words I'm thinking about. My frugality. Gotta really work on reining in my finances. I'm constantly trying to figure out how to make more money. But at this point, I have not found how to do that. I have not been able to come up with a way that I could reasonably make more money. So of course that means, how can I save more money? How can I better use the money I have? I picked the worst time to invest in stocks. Everything is down. I'm so in the red. It's scary. But I'm trying to find a way to make more money. And of course, that's going to be through saving money right now, and through frugality and adjusting my lifestyle. Although I am very frugal already, I know there's a lot more adjustments I can make. And then my resourcefulness, that's going to come into play big time right now, because we're moving into a new home. I have rooms, I have spaces that are going to have to be fixed up, made livable, painted, decorated, made homey, made useful. All of that needs to be done. So that's going to require a lot of resourcefulness over financing. I can't throw money at it. I have to be resourceful and frugal. And of course, sustainable. I have to find the best way to finance my life, create my life, live the life I want, and have it be sustainable. To keep things moving smoothly, to be aware of my resources, be aware of my footprint in the bigger picture of life, and to be able to do what I need to do for myself and my family and for my community as a whole. So all of these things are considerations that I'm going to be working on. I do need to get more serious with writing these things down, go back to writing in my journal, go back to writing out ideas and plans and things that I can share with you, things that will have value. I was hoping to get you in the new house and start following down the road of how to frugally and sustainably create a home, whether that's home decorating, creating my home office, creating my home meal structure and meal plan. This is something I'm struggling with now, with just the two of us and a husband who loves to eat out. He loves to eat out, and I have to admit, I love not having to cook, especially when I get off work at 6 o'clock and I'm tired and I don't want to cook. So it's easy for me to just fall in and say, okay, let's go out and eat. That's great. But it's not sustainable. It's not really financially responsible. We've got to do better. So all of these things are things I want to look at moving forward. I need to set a meal plan for two, a reasonable meal plan, a nutritional meal plan, and one that keeps in mind, what we need nutritionally, particularly as older people, older women. I got to cut out a lot of the red meat. Have to make a healthful diet, but I also want to return to a more frugal diet as well, which means that I'm planning ahead, that I am cooking from scratch, which I love to do, and I'm good at it, and I'm knowledgeable, but I've also been tired, so I'm going to return to that, and I want to share that, how to do that when cooking for one or two people, how to be, when I make these meals, it's hard not to make so much, and you can't eat it day after day, and I always say, oh, I'm going to freeze this and eat it later. It's never as good. I don't like it. So we have to find a better way. So that's what I'm working on. So these are things I want to bring to the table, literally and figuratively, in this channel, is to move forward in creating our best possible, most sustainable, frugal, resourceful, happy life as we're moving ahead, as we're growing older, as we're moving into a time where our income will be lessened through retirement, and we are living in a time of great inflation and concern and climate change and all of these things. So all of this needs to be wrapped together moving forward, and I promise that I will do that. And I'm going to continue today organizing the things that I have to organize, and tomorrow wake up with my plan for 2023. For me, as a wrap for 2022, the one thing I did accomplish through all the insanity, the one personal thing I accomplished is that I did finally take off the weight that I had put on over the last 7-8 years. So I did take off a good amount of weight. I don't know the exact amount. I'll have to figure it out, but we're looking at about 20 pounds that I took off in 2022. And for 2023, I want to hopefully focus on building up my finances and security and organizing my home and my life, because I feel like I've been floating with all the moving I've had to do the last several years. And this past year, having to make 2 major moves. It'll be 3. Actually, no, it'll be 2 major moves in a year. And then, of course, I got this 3rd move coming up now. So I got to settle in, let just everything settle down, and find my way moving forward. And I hope that you'll come along with me. I'll do better. And thank you for listening. I really appreciate you. Peace.